Okay, so this is about the D4 criteria, which is about capabilities. Now, the tricky part of this one is that there's two sections to it. There's understanding and development. Now, with understanding of capabilities, this is you explaining what your capability is about and how it was relevant. So you need to show us that you know what your capability was, involving, but also why it's relevant to your question. So if you just randomly picked capability, that might be trickier, but not impossible. The second part is your development. So we need to see regular check-ins and we need the language of development. So what we've improved or what we've learned or what we've enhanced. It's got to be about building capacities. You might say that you didn't do any of those, and that's okay. You could go in the negative, you could get worse at something, but we've got to be discussing it as a process of stepping through. So, to help you with this, we had booklet 5, which was all about the capabilities and explaining their relevance and what they're about. And this is a really good overview of how you might get started talking about your capabilities. Another really useful resource though is the ACARA capabilities website. So ACARA, the people who have made the whole curriculum in all of Australia, and they invented the capabilities because they don't want kids just to be able to memorise the dates of World War II. They want you to actually be critical thinkers and literate and numerate and all of those things. So if you go to the general capabilities on the Australian curriculum website, what you will find is basically an overview of all different capabilities. So you'll see we've got literacy, numeracy, ICT, etc. If you go to the PDF documents, what they have produced for us, that's really nice, is a little overview of the criteria for each capability. Now, these make excellent sentence starters because you can say, in my research project, I have posed questions to critically analyse complex issues and abstract ideas. Awesome. You then need to explain what questions did you pose, how did you critically analyse it, what were the complex issues, and how did you deal with those abstract ideas. Now that is what's going to get you into that higher capabilities grade. The thing to remember, I guess, is that these documents have tons of language. We would expect that as Year 11s, you are capable in the level 6 continuum, but sometimes the lower levels have good words you can steal as well. That's totally fine. Don't worry about that. Mostly, what we want to see is that you've used the language of the capabilities, because this is what makes your life a lot easier when you're talking about it. So for example, I would be on page 10 or towards the end of the folio, as well as throughout at various points, talking about your capability development. For some of you, that might be every page. For some of you, it might be 2 or 3 times throughout the folio. For some of you, it might be a whole page at the end. It does not matter. There is no right or wrong here. What you do need to know is that the capabilities are one of 6 criteria in your folio. So that means that 1/6 of your work should be shown in your capabilities, either explicitly, you talking about them, or implicitly, which is where you've just shown us that you're being literate by making, a good survey. So just think about that. When we take a descriptor from ACARA, that is a really good C grade. It shows us that you can read it and understand it. If you want to go to the higher level, you need to explain when you did things specifically. And you need to be giving us examples throughout and explaining the impact. So this led to me, That's really important because that high grade shows that you did things and you did them well.